Spoilers abound!
Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm going to be talking about the latest Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, and my own personal thoughts and impressions on it. I've only seen it once at this point, hoping to see it again. But basically, these are all my thoughts from only seeing it once. I saw it Thursday night, so yeah, I've had about 3 days, 2.5 days to think about it, think about all of my thoughts on it, and boy do I have some. I'm one of those people who likes to analyze things after I read and watch them, and I kind of talk a lot about it. And I went to see it with my boyfriend, and he doesn't do that. He just likes to watch things and move on, which is fine. That's how some people do it. You know, whatever. For me, I like to analyze, discuss, talk about it. Before I saw the movie, I saw people say things like, how can you see The Last Jedi and not come out shipping Reylo? Very easily. Very freaking easily. That whole arc there. No. I have an issue with Reylo, and you can ship that, whatever, I don't care, you ship things, but for me personally, I don't like it. There was a part where Kylo Ren says to Rey, "You're nothing, but you're not nothing to me." That is a classic abuse technique. Plus that scene, one where Kylo's saying, "Rule the world with me," and Rey saying, "Please don't do this." That had some strong Anakin Padme vibes, and that is not a good thing, okay? Anakin and Padme at the end of episode 3, no, you don't want that kind of thing. I can't go there with Rey and Kylo Ren. I don't see it that way. They both want each other to be on their side. Whatever that makes things interesting, whatever. I can't ship it. And I have seen The Last Jedi, and so for those people who say that you can't go watch The Last Jedi without shipping Reylo, you're wrong, because I don't. I'm still very much grossed out by it. I enjoyed the movie. I know a lot of people didn't. I know some fans didn't. And that there's a petition to get rid of it from the Star Wars canon, which is weird. Sometimes things happen that you don't like. Just look at Harry Potter, for example. Most Harry Potter fans hate Cursed Child, but it's still canon, as much as we try to ignore it. J.K. Rowling has said it's canon, it's canon. That's just the facts. The Last Jedi is canon, unfortunately, for those who don't like it. I liked it. I teared up a little bit when we first saw Leia on the screen. Space Mum, I will always love you. Oh, Leia was amazing, as always. Let's be real. The real hero of any story ever is Leia. Doesn't even have to be Star Wars. Leia is the hero. No. I just really love Leia. What she managed to do with the Force, when it was like she was dying and then she came back into the ship, that was wow. I really liked how she was sort of mentoring Poe to be a leader in some ways. I really liked Poe's character development throughout the movie, where he became a leader. He saw different ways of doing things, and Leia's plea, it looked so proud of him when he was like, "Come on this way," sort of at the end, and he's like, and she was just like, "Don't look at me, follow him." She was so proud that he had come so far, and I really liked Poe's character development through that. Rey and Luke, oh man, I really liked how they subverted the trope, and Luke would refuse to be the mentor that Rey wanted him to be. It was a good way to do it. It was a good twist of doing it. Maybe Luke has a point, or that the Jedi needed to end. I don't know. Well, I guess, I mean, people have their own opinions about that. I mean, as a Star Wars fan, you don't really want the Jedi to end. But he may be right. But I liked the story there with him not wanting to be the mentor, about him trying to show Rey why it should end. Also with Luke, the twist with Luke and Kylo Ren, with Luke trying to kill Kylo, or Ben rather at that point. That wasn't a good move from Luke's part. There's no excuse for that, really. However, I can understand Luke's fear of seeing the dark side in his nephew, like the dark side in his family. I understand the fear of that. However, maybe could have handled it better. Skywalker family drama ruined the galaxy for 3 generations. The connection between Rey and Kylo Ren that they had, that was pretty interesting. It was definitely a new way of seeing how the Force could work, and seeing that storyline, seeing them communicate in that way was interesting. Rey believing that there could have been a way to save Kylo Ren, to get the good from Ben, basically, to bring that back. Classic Star Wars move. I also really like that Rey's parents aren't anybody important. I think that's nice, because, I mean, for the last 2 years, people have been like, oh, she's a Skywalker, oh, she's a Kenobi, oh, she's this, she's that, there's that, and I never really liked it. I was like, you don't want to have that many connections all the time. And so I like that her family isn't one of those families. I like that they just kind of, I mean, it's not good for Rey, like, honestly. But I like that they kind of just sold her off. There was no need for adding connections or that kind of thing. I don't think it would have been necessary. So that's good. As for Rey being nothing because her parents were nothing, I hate that sort of thing. That's not true ever. She's not nothing to Finn either, so there you go. Finn's storyline with Rose. Can I just start with, I love Rose. She is my new girlfriend. I have claimed her. She's amazing. I just love her. And her storyline with Finn, looking for the Master Codebreaker and doing all of that stuff, trying to stop the First Order from being able to follow them. That was really, really interesting. I liked them kind of destroying the town of rich people who got rich from war, and sort of like rescuing, well, not kind of rescuing, liberating, oh my gosh, I can't remember what the animals were called, but these animals that were very mistreated, and basically encouraging a bunch of young kids to look to the resistance, really. I also really liked that the plan failed. Normally, and those kind of things, the plan comes through at the last minute, but this time it failed, and there were consequences to that failure, like pretty major consequences to that failure, and I thought that was really great. You don't see that often. The heroes always come through, but this time they didn't, and that, I think, added to the story. That's what war is like sometimes. That's what happens sometimes. Your plan doesn't always work out. And I think it was a very nice touch to add that. It sucks that they lost so many people. Not just then, but earlier at the beginning of the movie, including Rose's sister. But it's a very, very nice touch to to have the plan fall through and for there to be consequences. The part where the light speed was sort of used to basically cut through an entire different ship. Amazing! What an amazing thing. That was just... whoa. There's no words for that. Probably why I was silent. It was amazing. Luke is gone, but man, he is... That was a good scene when he was against Kylo. Then especially when he's like, if you kill me in anger, I will always be with you, like your father is. Kylo carries so much anger towards his uncle, and you know, in this movie you can kind of understand why. I don't know if he'll ever learn to let go of that anger, really. I guess we'll see. Okay, now I want to get into the villains, basically. And I mean, I've talked about Kylo a bit. As for Snoke, I mean, as far as Sith Lords go, he couldn't even last an entire trilogy. General Hux, however, the joke of the galaxy, apparently, he doesn't trust Kylo Ren, obviously, and Kylo doesn't like him. That's gonna kick them in the face because they don't have Snoke to keep them together anymore. So it's going to be interesting in the next movie to see how they work together, because at this point they can't and they don't, and that could be the downfall of the First Order. I don't know if I've made any sense in this video. I'm just like trying to think back on everything that happened in the movie, and I'm just like, holy moly. During the scene where a bunch of the Resistance were coming out to meet the cannon from the First Order, and Finn was like, no, we have to get it, we have to destroy it, this is our last chance. And even Poe, I think really came into who he was as a leader in that scene. He's like, no, this isn't worth the risk, let's turn around, we can do something else, we can find another way, but this, we're going to lose too many people. And Finn was like, no, I have to do it. And then Rose saved him, and and then Rose saying, you know, we're not going to win by fighting the bad guys, we're going to win by saving the ones we love, or something along those lines. And I'm just like, oh, I love it. I mean, again, not sure I ship Finn and Rose, but I wouldn't complain if they got together either. I think that's also a good message as well, you know, trying to save people rather than fight people is definitely the way to go about these kinds of things, because if you're just trying to fight, you lose sight of what you're trying to do. But if your focus is saving people, then you're saving people. And yeah, it just yeah, I liked that scene. Rey has really come into her own with her Jedi powers. All of those rocks was just lifting up, and like the scene at the end where Rey and Poe finally met each other, I was like thinking it was like most of the way through The Last Jedi, and I was like, Rey and Poe are such central characters, and yet they haven't actually met or interacted. So they finally did. And then that last scene with Leia and Rey, and I just I don't know how we're gonna cope in the next movie without Leia. I know Luke died, but like, he'll probably come back as a Force ghost. I'm not too worried about that one. Seeing Yoda as a Force ghost, seeing Yoda again, that was cool. And Yoda having the point about, and Yoda's like, yeah, no, let's just destroy it. And it was when he destroyed it that Luke was like, oh no, wait, I don't want to destroy it after all. Like, whoops, too late. The scene where R2-D2 shows Luke the projection of Leia from A New Hope, all I could think about was Carrie Fisher's classic tweet, help me, Obi-Wan, whoever the fuck you are, You're my only hope. Carrie Fisher was such a gift. Going into the next movie, I don't know what to expect. I know we will have to lose Leia somehow, which is heartbreaking. She'll have to be written out. I don't know how that will work, but it'll happen. I guess we'll see Poe step forward as a leader. Finn showed a bit of the leadership as well, so perhaps the two of them, and maybe Rey as well. I don't know, but Poe especially will be stepping forward as the leader of the Resistance, I think, because this movie has this movie was definitely evilly about Poe's character development into a leader. So I'm looking forward to that, actually, seeing Poe as leader. I'm not sure if Rey's given up on Ben yet. So I guess we'll see how that goes. As for Finn and Rose, I sure hope Rose recovers. I guess we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next movie, and people will have all sorts of theories and everything, but I think a lot of the theories people have had were proven wrong in The Last Jedi. So I guess we'll see. This video may have been a bit scrambled. My thoughts are all over the place, but leave a comment below with your own thoughts of The Last Jedi. You can tell me I'm wrong if you want, I don't care. Just remember, this is just my opinion. Like, different people are gonna get different opinions out of things because they experience things differently. So don't hold much by it. You don't have to agree with me. This is just my own thoughts and opinions on it. That is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!